Hello my genies and creamies, it's Corrine. You may have noticed that after my update video where I said I was going to be doing things, I vanished off the face of the earth again. I have a reason, but I'm also just terrible at going through with what I say I'm going to do. What happened was, long story short, I spilled tea into my bag with my laptop and broke it. All my art is on a hard drive that I have yet to transfer to my new one, and I had to set everything up again. So, I seem to just bust computers. It's a great thing, but I still have my projects, and I'm still going to do them. Some of the ones mentioned in the video have been canceled, but a lot haven't. But as for this video, I was thinking, since you guys hear me talk and I was planning on doing speed paints, it'd be nice to get to know me a little bit before I hurl myself with actual videos at you guys. So this is a bit of a meet the artist. Of course, the most common question I get asked when I tell someone, hey, I'm an artist, is do you want to be an art student or an artist in career? The answer is no. It's not gonna pay out well, and I can't focus on art. I have a bad habit of jumping around everywhere, and I'll do one project, then another, and there's a whole big reason for that. But besides the point, no. That is not my goal, and I won't be going to art school of any kind. Much of a learning experience it might be, and how much it'll help my art, all aside, it's just not for me. In that case, what am I going to do? College? Career? Who knows? Well, I'm going off to college. I'm hoping to get a bachelor's or master's in biology with a focus on reptiles. This is very niche, I know. But I absolutely adore reptiles. If you hand me a reptile, I will cuddle it. I don't care if it's a snake, a skink, or a gecko. I love them all. So it only makes sense that I would end up going into a career with them. And if I can do anything about the fact that people throw them out in the trash, I will very gladly take that opportunity. And obviously, since I'm talking about college, I am a late high schooler. In this case, I'm a senior. I've mentioned it in my past videos where I have voiceovers that my school is very strenuous. And it is. It's a small school that has a really high work ethic and really high grades generally. And most of the students there are not artistic, rather than very scientific and math-based. When we did the SAT, I've never heard so many people complain about the reading and writing portion. That's just insane to me. I started an art club, and 5 people showed up, and then they never showed up again, and they didn't talk to me. My friend and I just sat there like, what? There's no artists here. So my art has been kind of pushed down, not purposefully by the school, just because of the environment. Which is fine. It's been very interesting in getting to know people with a very different style of thinking than me, compared to the fact that I did go to a charter art school a couple years before I moved, which was 3 years ago. And that school was great and wonderful, and it's got some of my best memories, including the beginnings of cosplay for me, and the real beginnings of me getting more into art and becoming, I guess, an artist. It's got some of my oldest sketchbooks and my oldest writing, and that's pretty embarrassing, but I love it too. With time, I've gained some great inspirations as I've gotten more into the realm of the internet, because I'm still quite reserved. I don't have much social media. That's just how I roll. But I have found, especially through YouTube, some amazing inspirations, being Star Heavenly has been the most recent. I both relate to her and adore her work. I adore Lavender Town, whose tutorials and advice for young artists has been mind-bogglingly helpful through my career and has pushed me to get out of my comfort zone. And Overly Sarcastic Productions. Other than just adoring her chibi style and the myths that go along with it, I am a huge mythology nerd. She's just sweet, and Blue is amazing too, and they're both great, and I can't get over them. To be fully honest, their videos have been the inspiration, or at least the seed to get things done in terms of my art, for some of my most precious OCs and stories. And of course, those characters, like I said, are extremely important to me. The most important ones being my group with Pascal and Gillen, who I mentioned in the last video. At least I mentioned Pascal, I did not mention Gillen. Gillen is his boyfriend. But the other one is between my group that I've been working on for almost 3 years with a character who I adore so much that I get art of him and it makes me cry. I just call it currently Val Friends because the name keeps vomiting itself in other directions because it keeps changing. Originally it was -455 and now it's Chronicide, and I'm gonna keep Chronicide, but it's a mess. But Val and Friends all started out as a Star Trek spin-off under the idea of what if Kirk and Spock were switched. And since then, it's come from a kind of blatant ripoff into its own thing entirely, and I'm so happy with it. The human universe for them is very strangely different from the alien, because the alien one, some of the, like, a character is the prince of sorts, and that's really different compared to in the human universe, he's just a field biologist. So obviously there's a lot of differences, and in the human universe, the way things are looked at and the way characters have grown up is a lot different. Val is probably the biggest example of this, being as an alien, he's a bit more mafia boss-esque and more genuinely confident, but in the human universe, he's a lot less genuinely confident because his backstory is absolutely terrible, and it makes me want to punch my own characters that I made for it, so I think I did good. And it deals with a lot of heavy stuff, you know? Aside from all that, I wanted to really write the human universe, at least a sort of feel-good, realistic drama, I guess. And, you know, writing and art have always paired hand in hand. Val went through a huge transformation. I love him so much because my friend and I spent 7 months writing a story with him and her character, and it is over probably 150 Google document pages, so it's huge. We absolutely love it. We bring it up half as a joke, because it's really cringy, but also just like, wow, this is great. It's terrible, but it's great, you know? My friends tend to be the ones who introduce me to new hobbies, it seems, or new things in general. I only discovered my love of roller coasters because my friends dragged me onto one, and I only discovered my love of ice skating because my friend forced me to watch Yuri on Ice, and then I fell into that hole. Generally, creative things are my shtick. I'm really big into cosplay, and although I've been kind of on hiatus from cosplay for a while, I've done little things here and there, but I've never done like an intensive, let me sew it myself kind of cosplay for a few years. And that's because I got pretty obsessive with it back when I was younger, so like 12 to 14. I got so obsessed with it that like I started doing really bad in school, and it's left a bad taste in my parents' mouth, that's for sure, but we're all chill with it. And I'm gonna probably get back to it soon, sooner than later at least. And in the meantime, I've fallen headfirst into the furry fandom. And I'm not gonna stand here defending it because there's some bad parts, but the art side is great from what I've seen. And the fursuiting side is generally sweet if you're with the right people. But I've been working on a fursuit for myself of my character, Soleil, or Sol, who is a skink because, like I said, I love reptiles, so of course I'm going to make a reptile suit. And it may not be the best thing ever, but I really like how it's coming out, and it's been a great learning experience in terms of using foam. Now I can actually use it for cosplays too. Yay! I also play video games quite a lot. I'm pretty picky nowadays, but I am a big fan of League of Legends, although I don't like the direction it's taking right now. I love it too much to quit playing, so good job, Riot. Just please stop taking our money. Other than League, I generally just play Battlefield and strap C4 to my car and drive it into tanks, and little, like, indie RPGs are really my thing. I love One Shot with such a passion, and games like Dust and Elysian Tale or The Isle are absolutely up my alley. You also might remember, if you saw my last video, I mentioned D&D Vines. Well, that died, but I got in with a new session, and oh boy. Oh, it's a mess too. Currently, we go under the name of Horn Gang, because we all accidentally made our characters have horns, to the point where it's now a prerequisite if you'd like to join. It's a hot mess, and currently we're looking for some genasi in an elemental city, and it's taking on a bunch of Avatar The Last Airbender style things, and it's really fun. I'm using Corrine, who is just my persona, D&D-ified, because I really didn't feel like coming up with a new character. And I will absolutely be doing D&D Vines for this one. And of course, the best way to end any video is with pictures of cute animals. So I decided to put up some pictures of my sweet pets. I have 3 pets currently. One's the family dog, Cooper, and he's a big old boy who he's got the heart of a child. Other than Cooper, after 5 years of begging, when I was 13, I got our cat, Kilala. Yes, for you Inuyasha fans, she is named after the character. She is a salty bitch who thinks she's a queen, and she is a queen, but that's besides the point. Finally, there's Pandora, the youngest and newest member of the family. She likes to yeet herself everywhere, and it just makes me panic, honestly. She's just sitting in my hand one moment, the next moment she's tried to belly flop herself onto the floor 4 feet down. That's very concerning to me. She's very small, she fits in my hand. She has never succeeded in hitting the ground. I catch her, she still makes me freak out. And with that, I bid thee adieu. I hope this gave you guys a little bit more insight into me, the person behind the camera, and doing all the art you're watching. And leave comments on what you guys want to see. I'll do anything from gaming to art to surprise me. I'll see you later, my genies and creamies.